Ever since I first heard the opening notes to the Blade Runner soundtrack, I've been obsessed with synthesizers. There's something so beautiful about Vangelis playing that CS80 and the expressivity of that instrument that's something I've chased in the software and hardware worlds for 12 years now. The Yamaha CS80 that Vangelis was playing had polyphonic aftertouch, which is still a thing that today is considered a feature in only the highest end synthesizers. This was back in the 70s when they invented this, as well as a ribbon controller for additional pitch control. And all of that together made the CS80 one of the most expressive synthesizers of all time. Now, I've loved some of the sounds that I've been able to get out of the Chord Prologue and Spectrasonic's Omnisphere, but the expressivity is still a little tough. There's something different about playing with the mod wheel or the pitch bend wheel or even an expression pedal that, although sometimes useful, just doesn't feel the same as when I used to play a guitar and I would add some natural vibrato to the strings without even thinking about it, or bend up to a note or down from a note. There's just something that's always felt missing from the quote-unquote real instruments when I went to electronic music. That is, until I found out about this, the Neova ring controller from Enhancia. Hey friends, it's Alex from Vulture Culture, and today we're going to be unboxing and giving you my first impressions of the Neova ring controller by Enhancia. So a ring controller is a MIDI controller that allows you to have parameter modulation based on where your fingers are in real space. I don't want to waste any of your time, so let's get started. Inside the package I got from DHL, we've got, I guess, some extra rings here in case you have really big fingers. We have this nice Enhancia case comes with it. So I guess if you want to take it on the go, you've got this very premium feeling case. And then of course we have the Neova, which looks beautiful. Everything about this product feels premium, which is nice when you've spent $400. Okay, so this slides off, and then this, what does this do? Well, how do you open? Aha! I figured this out. That opens like that, and then it says, designed in France by Fabien Deborez. You pop this off. It says, do not assemble your ring straight away. Once clipped, the stone is not removable. Carefully select the ring size that fits your index. Oh God, that's stressful. Like, you have to have the perfect ring size or else you're fucked. That sucks. Wouldn't you want to make a product that, you know, isn't dead if you don't put it on the right ring? Like if you know, cause like for me, I know with like my watches, I'm constantly deciding if, you know, it's a little too loose and it's like dangly, but then if you have one little thing less, then it's like too tight, you know? Okay, so we've got I'm assuming this is the interface hub, just kind of dusty, surprising. And then we have a bunch of rings. So I guess I just have to try these on until one of these, all right. I don't know. It looks like you could refit this. This is strange. I don't know. That seems close. This one or this guy. Ugh, these are really in here. So rings are weird because like as your blood pressure increases, that one feels a little looser. Like I could definitely get it on that ring. Could definitely get this guy on one ring or the other. If I go with this one, I'm sort of stuck with that finger, right? I can't. Yeah, I can get it on that one. I think that's the side. I see one size down from that. That one sucks. So, ow, fuck, ugh. Okay, so that's too tight. And then this guy feels too loose. So this is the Goldilocks just right size ring. What else do we have in here? Oh, fuck. There's just fucking rings everywhere. Move that over here. Okay, what else do we have in here? We got a little quick start guide. Probably should have started reading this first. But I was so worried about the ring, I started worrying about this. Okay, Neova, quick start guide. Get this in. Step 1, build your ring. Choose the ring size that fits the best on your index. No period. No proper English. It's okay, they're French. Clip the stone on the selected ring. You can change the ring size by unclipping the stone. Press to unclip the stone. Well, that's exactly the opposite of what this says right here. This says, once clipped, the stone is not removable. It says right over here, it says, you can change the ring size by unclipping the stone. All right, then we go to the website and download the stuff and install the dashboard software. And then it says just connect the hub to your computer, and then you can play with your favorite instrument. And it goes over the different gestures and the serial number, which hopefully you guys can't read on stream. Okay, so what's nice is, I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay, see how that has a certain shape to it. So if you try to put it in the wrong way, it obviously doesn't feel right. So you have to kind of put it in here and then it just clip in. Let's see if it does. Okay, it's clipped in and then it's on my finger, and that's a wedding ring if I've ever seen one. It's more exciting than any wedding ring I've ever wanted to have on my hand. Real quick, just worth saying, this thing looks and feels smooth and fresh. It doesn't feel like a big clunky whatever. It actually feels pretty dainty, and like it just blends in on what's going on, you know, my hands anyways. Like I could forget about it. And that's the thing for me about trying out a Ring MIDI controller, is I don't want it to feel like there's a small lobster attached to my hand while I'm trying to play the keyboard. That sort of defeats the purpose, right? Okay, so we've got some MIDI to 1/8 inch. I wonder how that works. That's interesting. Must be for using hardware. We've got some extra stickers that I don't know what these are for. And we can connect the thing over here. All right, so let's plug this guy in and see how that goes. Okay, so this is the Neova plugin, and you can kind of see what's going on. I guess if I put my hand over here, you can see what's going on. So when I move my hand left to right like this, you can see it's triggering the vibrato. And you see that threshold there? It's like the dead zone. So if I play a note on the prologue, isn't that cool? And if I hit a note and I twist my hand to the left or the right, you'll see the pitch bend. So I'm gonna go select that so you can see what's going on over here. So, oh my God. And then as I go to tilt here, if I tilt forward, you can see it's doing this thing. So that seems to be controlling the mod wheel, I think, which is to CC1. But if can I change this to CC, I think it was 34 is the filter, if I remember correctly from some of the other videos. So all I have to do is change that there and hit upload, and now it's uploaded that. So let's see if that worked. All right, so that is not the filter. That is definitely the coarse pitch. Wow. But the problem is, you know, it's a little whatever. So I think the range needs to be a little higher here. So I'm gonna just save that again. So I have to keep my finger really. So that's not what I was looking for. Let me find the cutoff filter frequency. Just gonna Google that real quick. Oh wait, I think it was 43, not 34. Let's try that and we'll upload that. So when I go, there we go. Jesus Christ, there's fireworks going on outside. Wow. Oh, life in the ghetto. Okay, so I'm gonna increase the gain maybe of the vibrato. Yeah, I really want it to be able to be, because I think it's like, if I do a little movement with my hand here, I'll try to show you so you can see my hand. We don't get a lot of vibrato. Let me try bringing the threshold down a little bit here. I guess I have to hit upload too, right? I think it's like how much I move my finger translates here. And like, even if I just do a little warble, like just a 1 or a 2er instead of a back and forther, and whatever that means. It's a little awkward at first just because it's like I'm getting used to it. But the fact that you can, oh, the fireworks. Let me see if I can bend up a half step. Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, it's doable. Or you could go a full step is easier because you're just going all the way. Pretty awesome. Just immediately gets so expressive as compared to just playing this naturally. So what I can do is go over to this little hub that I have, and I think I could just pause these, right? So now if I play, nothing happens. So that's kind of nice. So of course, back in the day, you have the mod wheel to control a little bit of vibrato, or you can even do some vibrato with the pitch wheel, like go. And that's what keyboardists have been doing for time immemorial. But to me, that's a certain way to play. For one thing, you have to play with only one hand if you're doing that, because you have to have one hand free to go over here to touch the mod wheel. And another thing for me, what I've noticed is when I play leads and that sort of thing, I naturally do that sort of motion because I'm a guitarist. I learned how to play music on a guitar. And of course, vibrato is a big part of how you play a guitar and things like hammer-ons and pull-offs. And so for me, being able to have this set up so that when I'm playing a lead, so let me just turn it back on and I can go. And feels like I'm playing a guitar, at least in the sense of like the way the pitch tracks my hand motion. And then even like when you're playing a guitar, you can sometimes strum soft or you can hit it really hard. So if I'm going like this and I want a note to really, I can roll that forward to get the emphasis by mapping to the cutoff of the filter. It enables me to be able to get the emphasis there. This is just like crazy. So when I first saw Ring MIDI controllers, I wasn't that interested in them because I felt like every time I saw a commercial for one of them, it was like some dubstep bass thing where like as you move your hand in this big dramatic way, it like changes the LFO or the tone of like the fucking dubstep bass. It would be like this. It would be like you know, and to me, that's just like fucking cheesy. I don't want to be on stage being like, whoa, you know, like, I get it, but it's not me. But what I think is so cool about this is that it was when I actually saw people and they're just playing the keys, right? Like they're just playing stuff and it's just adding to the expressiveness. That is what to me is like a wow factor with this product. And so one of the reasons I went with this Ring controller as compared to some of the other ones that are on the market that are a little bit cheaper is those are Bluetooth, and Bluetooth has an inherent latency. Now, I don't know if the latency is that bad, but the Enhancia guys actually came up with their own system to be able to have lightning fast control. And you can see this thing is tracking my hand instantly. I've heard some people say you can feel the latency with other Ring controllers, and other people say, no, it's, you know, it's within that range. So some of that might have to do with how powerful your computer is too, right? So if you get your sample size really small, your buffer size, then you can, maybe you get a little bit less latency as well. But yeah, just overall, I am only beginning to play with this, but the fact that this thing is as powerful as it seems is just like, it's mind blowing. And yeah, with just like a few really easy to use tweaks, it's like everything works pretty well, like right out of the box. It did take like an hour to charge this, but it lasts for like 8 hours. So that's pretty awesome too. Overall, my first impressions of the Neova Ring is just like, it's a wow factor. I'm beginning to think this might be one of the coolest things ever. So let's talk real quick about this as compared to MPE. So what you could get if you're into the expressivity game is like a Raleigh C board or Lumi keys or a Linstrument. And those are instruments that are designed where you've got polyphonic aftertouch. So when you hit a note, like how hard you press afterwards on each individual key is different, as well as some of them work where like how high up you are on the key is different. And I think one day maybe all MIDI controllers will just be that. They'll just be where it's all, you can route all of that stuff. There's a downside to it. One is they're all really expensive. Two is I don't find any of them particularly compelling. Like Raleigh started off with like these big format, really gray, sort of like submarine looking keyboards that are like all smooth, so you could slide up and down naturally like you would on a violin or something, which is neat, but it doesn't really appeal to me. And then now they're like into the really like laptop small form factor, which I really don't like. And the Linstrument, while cool, just again doesn't appeal to me. I kind of like keyboards, right? Like I like this type of thing. So what's awesome about the Neova Ring, when you start thinking about it, is not only does this work with my Prologue, right now it's running through Reaper to send it, but I could have also just run this directly into the MIDI input, right? But this will also work with my DW8000, which is a synthesizer from 1985, right? I can use this with the DW8000 and it's gonna work the same way. So this means that this one controller opens up the expressivity on all of your instruments, whether they're soft synths, hardware synths, whatever you're using. But with an MPE controller, you need a piece of software or a piece of kit that speaks that language. And so overall, so far, I think this thing is just like, I'm really excited to see what is possible with it. We'll see how I feel about it once I've had some time with it. Maybe I'll do a follow-up review or something. If you're wondering what you should do with that $600 stimulus check, it might be getting one of these guys, and you'd still have some money left over for groceries afterwards. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. It makes a huge difference, and I'll see you in the next one.